From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, February 5th. Okay, it's going to be a dry day today. Winds are sticking around. Highs will top in the upper 20s to low 30s, but it's going to feel a lot colder than that because of the wind chill. Snow chances return late Saturday and lead to a very cold Sunday. And while we're talking about the weather, today is not only National Weather Person's Day, so we got to give a shout out to all of our meteorologists here at Wish TV on the Storm Track 8 weather team. It is also Randy Ollis' birthday. Every year on February 5th, those two dates collide. And this birthday is quite the monumental one. Randy Ollis is turning 65 today. Yes, indeed, he has graced the airwaves here in Indianapolis for 35 years. He was the first meteorologist to be a part of the Daybreak, launching Daybreak into its #1 success. And it's just been a pleasure working with him over the years. I think I've logged 7 years with him now. And it's really cool to see how far his career has come, how much he loves Indianapolis and how much Indianapolis has embraced him. Had a big announcement on Daybreak this morning, so I'm going to let you in on the big secret. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know which cleaners to take my pants. I got makeup on it, donut dust over here. It's a tough decision to make here, guys.
It is.
So,
He's covered in sugar.
You know me here, guys. No, I made a decision. I'm really excited about it. March 3rd, that will be my last day on Daybreak doing the weather. After 36 years, I will be finished on Daybreak after March 3rd. However, I am not retiring. I do not like to use that word retiring. I plan never on retiring. I'll do something. However, starting on March 4th, I'm going to kind of go back to an abbreviated schedule. I'm going to be doing the weather only on our midday newscast. I will be appearing on Indie Style here in different roles and might even appear on the last part of Daybreak in your trending segment. So that will be my new work schedule starting on March the 4th. I'm not retiring. You guys can't get rid of me yet.
We wouldn't try.
Yeah, there it is, everyone.
Anyway.
Oh, there's the announcement. Is it coming?
There we go.
Randy.
A big congratulations to Randy. We are so excited for what his future holds, and we're so glad that we get to keep him around here for a little while longer. And a third potential coronavirus vaccine could be available to Americans in a matter of weeks. Johnson & Johnson is asking the FDA for an emergency use authorization. The vaccine would be the first single-use shot. According to the company, the vaccine is 85% effective. An independent group of health experts will look at that data. If Johnson & Johnson gets the green light from the FDA, it will go to the CDC. The agency will then decide if the vaccine is safe and who should get it first. Health experts say this easier-to-use option could boost scarce supplies.
Could not come at a better time. Cases are dropping rapidly in the United States. The 7-day moving average for new cases is down 54% since its peak in January. Now is the time to put the fire out.
The United States has placed an order for 100 million doses of the vaccine. Johnson & Johnson says it can deliver that amount by June. And Dr. Anthony Fauci is reassuring people that we will get back to normal life.
We will get back to some degree of normality, but that's going to depend a lot on the success we have in getting a lot of people vaccinated.
According to the CDC, nearly 7 million people are fully vaccinated. That's about 2% of the population. Nearly 28 million people have received their first dose. In Indiana, according to the state health department, as of yesterday, 178,560 people are fully vaccinated. More than 637,000 people have had their first dose. Right now, people 65 and older can schedule an appointment to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And a Central Indiana organization is working to get coronavirus vaccines to people who are homebound. The Central Indiana Council on Aging, now known as Sequoia, is concerned about older people who can't physically get to a clinic or those who don't have internet access to get an appointment.
Our role in this is making contact, inviting them to register, and if they say, yes, I will go ahead and register, we will then make that appointment for them if they don't have the ability to do it on their own.
Sequoia works with about 11,000 people in our area. And this morning, we're hearing strong words from school leaders to the state of Indiana. 8 district heads are raising concerns about iLearn testing amid pandemic operation constraints. So far, iLearn testing requirements haven't changed at all. That's why the superintendents, including at HSE, signed and sent the letter to the State Department of Education asking the state to reconsider the student assessment test. It says the testing plan is unreasonable and unrealistic given the current operation of schools this year. We request consideration be given to reducing or eliminating the current requirements. So the 8 districts, including Hamilton Southeastern, are Carmel Clay and Noblesville. Superintendents say the current testing plan is a daunting task. The letter goes on to ask for additional time for makeup testing and a way to accommodate virtual learners. The districts fear that the testing would consume 8 to 12 days in a school year where learning has already been greatly diminished. They also note that 10% of families are still learning virtually and would potentially miss the testing, jeopardizing the district's ability to meet a 95% federal participation. They also say staffing shortages are already an issue, and they worry they won't be able to meet basic staffing needs of the schools if the tests were to go on. The 10 Senate Republicans who met with President Biden on COVID relief are keeping the conversation going. They sent a letter to the White House to push for talks to continue. So this is the first time since the meeting that the group, including Senator Todd Young of Indiana, has contacted the White House. The letter underscores how far apart the two sides are on the policy. A big sticking point for Republicans is the direct payments to Americans. About 78% of families would qualify for the $1,000 relief payments in the Republican counterproposal. Biden is proposing $1,400 direct payments. According to a recent model, 95% of families would be eligible for that money. And President Biden and Democrats want to act quickly on a new stimulus funding. Committees in both the House and Senate have already started working on crafting the bill. And the House voted to take away committee assignments for Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. 11 Republicans joined Democrats in the 230 to 199 vote. Democrats explain the punishment is for Greene spreading violent, hateful conspiracy theories, including QAnon. All 9 Indiana representatives voted along their party lines. The freshman representative had served on the Education and Labor and Budget committees. Before the vote, she told her colleagues that she regrets previous controversial remarks.
That is absolutely what I regret, because if it weren't for the Facebook post and comments that I liked in 2018, I wouldn't be standing here today.
She posted on Twitter after the vote, thanking who she calls the real Republicans that stood by her, saying they will be remembered. Greene also announced she'll be holding a press conference this morning at 11 o'clock. The House impeachment managers have requested former President Donald Trump testify under oath at his upcoming Senate impeachment trial. In a letter, lead impeachment manager Jamie Raskin said if Trump won't testify, quote, "We reserve any and all rights, including the right to establish at trial that your refusal to testify supports a strong adverse inference regarding your actions and inaction on January 6th, 2021. Now, Trump's legal team quickly rejected the invitation, saying the letter proves that Democrats cannot prove your allegations. Trump's attorneys went on to say, quote, "The use of our Constitution to bring a purported impeachment proceeding is much too serious to try to play these games." Each American could get a mask from the U.S. government. According to White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, the Biden administration is hoping to resurrect the Trump administration proposal. Klain said in an interview on NBC that officials are hoping to use masks the government already has in its stockpile. He says the administration hopes to make an announcement about it in the next few days or next week. And $12.5 million, that's how much Indiana is winning in a historic settlement over the opioid crisis. The state's attorney general announced that for the first time, the state is getting money from wrongdoers involved in the crisis. A consulting firm that worked with drug makers to promote addictive painkillers will pay $573 million in all. That goes between 47 states, the District of Columbia, and 5 U.S. territories. Responding to the news, Governor Holcomb wrote, "No amount of money can undo the devastating toll inflicted by the opioid epidemic, but this is another step toward helping Hoosier families recover from this national crisis." And state lawmakers are considering a bill to give the General Assembly the ability to overrule public health emergency orders issued by a governor. The proposal in the House right now would make it possible to call lawmakers back to the State House anytime Indiana issues a statewide emergency order. It leaves most of the governor's authority in place, but prohibits orders that put restrictions on religious services. The measure comes amid conservative criticism over Governor Holcomb's 55 COVID-19 related orders. Some Democrats question whether the bill puts politics into public health decisions.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
And there's a change in the proposal to raise the cigarette tax in Indiana. The new proposal would send 40% of revenue made from the tax to healthcare providers for Medicare reimbursements. The original proposal sent most of it to the state's general fund and pension programs. The proposal would add $1 to the current tax. The raise is estimated to increase revenue by nearly $290 million a year. And now to business headlines. Pizza Hut just had its best quarter in a decade. People are still relying on pizza delivery during the pandemic. Pizza Hut also closed some underperforming restaurants and said that helped boost sales as well. Apple is close to finalizing a deal with Hyundai Kia to manufacture an Apple-branded autonomous electric vehicle at the Kia assembly plant in West Point, Georgia. Sources familiar with Apple's interest in working with Hyundai says that the tech giant wants to build the Apple car in North America with an established automaker willing to allow Apple to control the software and hardware that will go into the vehicle. Gamers hunting for a PlayStation 5 may have to wait a bit longer to find one. Sony warned it's struggling to meet demand for the hot-selling game console as it grapples with a shortage of computer chips. Despite the production woes, Sony said it sold 4.5 million PS5 consoles from its November launch through the end of December. eBay topped Wall Street expectations for holiday sales as more homebound buyers flocked to its platform for shopping during the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has forced millions of Americans to stay indoors, leading to a surge in online orders for e-commerce companies, including eBay, Amazon Inc., and Walmart Inc.'s online businesses. Okay, so Hershey's mint and gum sales have plummeted because of social distancing and masks during the pandemic. Overall sales were up for Hershey thanks to baking products and snacks. The company launched an ad campaign to try to boost some sales. Indianapolis International has a new fire chief. Fred Purvine has spent more than 35 years with IFD, rising to the role of deputy chief there. He'll be responsible for fire service management at the main airport and several other facilities around the city, like the downtown heliport and the Eagle Creek Air Park. He's also getting a shout out from a relative we know well. Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown says, "Congrats to my Uncle Fred." You can find the post on our Facebook page. A Black History Month effort at a local plant is stirring up some strong emotions. The issue is a survey, not the questions in it, but rather the name of the survey. News 8's Demi Johnson explains.
I've never felt any racial things since I've been there until today.
Tim Buckley has worked for PepsiCo for more than 20 years. He says he spent most of his time on the north side, but recently relocated to the new Post Road plant. One tradition he says he always appreciated, the company's effort to celebrate Black History Month.
They had a Black History Month thing, and that the thing that I sent you that was posted on the wall.
He's talking about this flyer that asks employees to take the Black History Month Survey Monkey trivia.
I would have just put Black History Month tribute and left it at that. They could have left the monkey that part out.
Buckley says he understands part of the phrase is referring to the website SurveyMonkey, a popular online survey tool. But he says at a work environment that is largely made up of minorities, the way words are used matters.
It's like you have to be careful with what you, even with me, to even the words I say around my peers or my employees. You know, I have to be careful how I use my words.
He says the plant manager did eventually call a meeting to say sorry for the misunderstanding.
Instead of him addressing it yesterday, he waited all the way to the end of the shift today to address the issue and took it down and apologize.
PepsiCo responded to the situation saying this unfortunate but honest mistake occurred as part of a Black History Month program in our Indiana facilities. We are deeply sorry for the mistake. We have removed all instances of the survey website name from materials and apologize to our employees. We take employee feedback very seriously and are committed to the pursuit of racial and social justice in our workplace and communities around the world.
People should be held accountable and standard just like we are when we're at work and we do something wrong. Sorry is not good enough.
In Indianapolis, I'm Demi Johnson for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Demi reports other workers at the Eastside plant also sent us messages about the flyer. Tim Buckley says his friends at the company's Northside plant say the survey was never posted there. Police in Bloomington are looking for a person of interest in a murder case. Police want to talk to Eric Quentin Johnson. Officers believe Johnson to be armed and dangerous. If you see him, you should not approach him, but call 911 instead. On January 28th, police say Teresa Michael was found dead inside an apartment after a report of a fire. Detectives are now trying to find a silver 2007 Dodge Caliber. They believe Michael was driving it before her death. The license plate is 619DNS. That's D as in dog, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, 619DNS. Anyone with information should call Detective Chris Scott at 812-349-3382. Okay, now to this weekend's major sporting event. Your Super Bowl meal planning. There's a nationwide shortage of chicken wings, apparently, but News 8's Dan Klein explains getting the wings is only part of the problem.
80 pounds of bird in the smoker might as well be 80 pounds of treasure.
This is the worst it's ever been.
It may not be life and death compared to the other worsts brought by the pandemic, but still, add another one to the list. A scarcity of chicken wings. Cluster Truck had not had them on hand for almost 4 weeks until a shipment arrived Thursday.
We just got chicken wings in this afternoon, which was kind of a surprise. And talking to Chef, I guess there was a lot of horse trading going on to get them.
While supplies are usually tighter around the Super Bowl, owner Chris Baggett says this has never happened before.
I'm not having trouble getting them. I'm having trouble paying the price that they're wanting for them.
A different problem for barbecue and bourbon on Maine. Prices, usually less than $2 a pound, are now above $3. And there was another 28-cent jump Thursday morning.
Bad time of year, though, because everybody wants wings for Super Bowl, right?
It's the number 2 seller here. 160 pounds a week at least. If things continue for a few more weeks, the weekly wing special may have to go, at least for the time being.
I'm hoping just to ride it out for a little bit and hopefully it'll go back down.
The National Chicken Council says the shortage is a mixture of things, including increased orders from people eating at home during the pandemic. But with other big snacking events ahead, restaurant owners hope things get back to normal soon.
Oh, good gosh. Yeah, because then what? We're rolling into the March Madness.
The wholesale prices have held steady at Cluster Truck. They're now ordering their wings a month ahead of time. Baggett says his distributor says part of the problem is a supply chain issue because of farms who had to temporarily shut down in the pandemic months ago. But the one thing no one seems to have an answer for? Why just the wings are so hard to get when other portions of meat have been unaffected.
It's one piece of the bird, and what are you going to do with the rest of the chicken?
I'm Dan Klein for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.
And finally, the star of the Super Bowl halftime show is talking about his plans for Sunday night. Sports director Anthony Calhoun reports from Tampa with more on the weekend's performance.
Are you ready for a super big weekend? This guy is. 3-time Grammy winner. The Weeknd will be this year's Super Bowl halftime performer, and the R&B singer can't think of a better place to hit the stage.
My show's in Tampa. The crowd here is insane. I mean, they don't sing the lyrics back. They scream it back at you. It's such an experience. I love Tampa.
The Weeknd says it's a dream come true having the opportunity to showcase his talent for 12 minutes on the biggest night in America with over 100 million people watching. And his message to himself during this road to an incredible career?
Don't quit. Just don't quit. And there were times where, it was easy to quit, but I would tell him to just keep going.
25,000 fans will watch the Weeknd's performance in person at Raymond James Stadium due to COVID-19. and 7,500 of those are vaccinated healthcare workers. So what's the weekend's all-time favorite Super Bowl halftime show performance?
My favorite is definitely Diana Ross, 1996. She's just so glamorous, the show makes me smile, and she has a great exit with the helicopter. She lands in the middle of the field, grabs onto it, and flies out into the clouds. It's like, I wish I could have done that. I wish I thought of it, to be honest.
Again, that was Sports Director Anthony Calhoun reporting from Tampa. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.